Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Warriors at Ease Operation Remote Resilience channel. My name is Robin Briseño, and I am a certified yoga and meditation teacher with Warriors at Ease. And it's afternoon here on the West Coast. I'm coming from Ventura, California, so I was a little confused about what time of day to suggest it was. But welcome to the channel. And today I'm offering you a 30-minute restorative class. And this class is designed to unwind tension and anxiety from the body and from the mind with the use of props. So today I'm going to be using 2 to 3 blankets, 2 pillows, possibly a bolster. I'll probably bring that in. And I know a lot of people don't have bolsters. So bolsters can be kind of substituted by couch cushions, long couch cushions, extra decorative type pillows, or a stack of blankets. So just find whatever you have handy laying around and just grab it, kind of pull it in. And basically what we're trying to do is find ways to bring ease into the body and relax the body. So this form of yoga is also described as restful yoga for stressful times. It's a way to just let the body and the mind soften and relax. So we are going to begin in seated easy pose. We'll just begin by connecting with the breath. So let's sit up tall, kind of feel yourself root down into the earth through your sit bones, but then lengthen up through your back and your spine. I like to bring my hands to the sides and kind of plant them on the mat. So I kind of feel broad across my shoulders and my collarbone. I lift up tall here. And when I'm in this pose, I kind of like to think of the nature image of a mountain. And there's a mantra we can use. And so I'll suggest this for you today if you'd like to try it, and to think to yourself, body like mountain. So a mountain is wide and stable at its base, and then it lengthens up towards the sky. And we kind of think of a mountain as just being able to weather whatever comes, strong and stable. So begin to draw the breath in through your nose, down through your throat, and let it drop into the deepest part of your belly. And then let it release from the body in a nice, long, slow stream. Take a couple more breaths here, just feeling yourself steady like a mountain, and beginning to notice the breath as it flows in and out. And then the next part of our mantra is breath like breeze. So allow the breath to flow, thinking of the soft, gentle sensations of the breeze. So your eyes can be soft or closed here. Again, drawing attention to the in and out flow of the breath. And then the next part of our mantra is to think of mind like the sky. So I invite you, as you inhale, to consider letting the thoughts part like clouds. As you draw the breath in, allow the breath to just send the thoughts away, kind of like clouds. And as we breathe, we can think of the image of a placid, glassy lake that reflects the beauty all around. And when our mind stills and calms, we can see the reflection of the beauty within ourselves. So let's take maybe 2 or 3 more breaths here, noticing the flow of the breath like the breeze. and the clear blue expansive space of our minds, and the sensation of resting easy on the earth. All right, and one more breath, and then we're going to shift, and we're going to come on down to the mat. So I've already kind of set up some props here. I have a blanket underneath. You don't need it here, but it's just here for just a kind of added layer. Then I have a pillow, and then I have a rolled blanket right here for my head. And again, you can use another pillow for this. All right, so what I'm going to do is we're going to come into a simple supported back bend, and I'm going to bring my upper back onto the pillow, and then just sort of let more of my neck rest on this blanket roll. So let's adjust down together. And what you want to feel with the props is the lifting of the upper chest and then the resting back of the head. So we're supporting the neck and the head here so they're not dangling down to the floor, but we're feeling supported, which is, again, a concept of restorative yoga, is that the body can rest. So let's draw the knees together and bring your feet to the outside edges of your mat. So you're kind of supporting the legs here. And then you let the arms just fall where they fall, to the side, onto the floor, perhaps palm up, letting the shoulders relax back, noticing the chest beginning to feel lifted and expansive. The belly kind of drops in towards the spine. And again, we're going to draw our attention to the flow of the breath. Notice the rise of the chest on your inhale and the softening down towards the spine as the breath releases from the body. Allow the breath to come to you. And begin to notice when you feel a little calmer and a little lighter. Perhaps notice the opening and expansion across your chest. And the feeling of support underneath your back and your torso, your neck and your head. Perhaps notice a softening and a release of your shoulders. And now notice your jaw. Are you clamping your teeth, clenching together, or are you letting the jaw drop? Try softening the cheeks and the forehead and relaxing your jaw. Releasing any tension from the day on the flow of your breath. So let's take maybe 2 more breaths here. And then we're going to prepare to shift into another pose. Ideally, when you're doing a restorative practice, you want to allow yourself to be in a pose for 2 to 3 minutes so that you can fully experience the benefit of the resting pose. That's a gentle guideline for a home practice. All right, I'm going to begin to shift now, and you can come with me. We're going to kind of turn to one side, come towards your device and roll over to your side, and then bring yourself up. And I'm going to remove this pillow and bring a stack to the front of my mat here. So it could be decorated. You could use your pillows. If you have a stack of blankets or you have a bolster, this is ideal. But again, use whatever you have. Maybe that nice long couch pillow would be perfect. And then we're going to drape your top leg on top. So we're supporting the leg and releasing the hip here. And you're kind of feeling your torso, your above your kind of your pelvis area, and however long your stack is, of course, kind of letting it rest along the leg that is extended on the mat. And again, kind of coming into your torso wherever it is. And then find your way down and just lay on your side. And you may want to support your head again with a blanket or a pillow. So you can just allow yourself to rest here on your side and feel the support of the prop underneath your leg, which opens up the hip and kind of balances the whole length of the body here on the floor. So soften here. Again, notice your breath and what sensations you are experiencing as you breathe now on your side. You're going to feel yourself supported differently here on your side. And you may feel your breath in different parts of your torso and your rib cage than you felt when you were lying on your pillow support. Draw your attention to your hips and how you feel on your side and how it feels to have the support under your thigh. Perhaps we're releasing some tension that was held in your hips from doing a lot of sitting today, or just tension that naturally goes there, even from standing. Hips can be tight places. So as you breathe, perhaps think of sending the breath there to just ease more tension out of the hips. Soften your shoulders. Make sure that your arms aren't supporting you in a way that you're bringing any tension into unnecessary places. Try to soften as you observe yourself in this pose and the sensation of breath. Again, allowing the breath to come to you and observing when you begin to feel a little lighter in this pose. Maybe you'll even notice how sensation changes. The longer you stay in the pose. So let's take maybe 2 or 3 more easy breaths here. And as we do, we'll begin to think about shifting. We're going to find our way up and we're going to come into a supported pigeon pose. So we'll stay on this side of the body. I'm just going to bring my hand to the earth and I'm going to begin slowly kind of rise on up. And at this point, I'm not going to use this. So I'm just going to kind of move that out of the way. And I'm going to bring 2 pillows back. Actually, I could use my bolster. Maybe that's what I'll do. So you could use a couple of pillows, or if you have this stack, you could use this too, actually. I'll kind of show you how you can do this. So you're going to keep this leg underneath here on the bottom folded and come into pigeon pose. So you might want to have a bent leg. You kind of need to sense how you're feeling on this side of your body. And you're going to bring the stack or your props back so that you can just drape your torso over as you come into your pigeon. And if you'd like to try and extend this leg, roll from the hip, straightening the leg, lengthening it on the floor, and then allow yourself to soften through your shoulders and your neck, resting your head, and feel the lengthening and the extension here. Now, if the tension in the hip, the compression that you feel in the bent hip is a little bit much, you can always bring another pillow under the hip to kind of lift it up and support it a little bit. It kind of takes the deep compression out. So again, decide what feels best in your body because you want to be able to allow ease to come rather than feeling like you're holding yourself. See if you can sort of swim into the pose and release into it. So in this restful pose, we're adding a little compression, which moves tension. And we're also extending and opening, which allows for tension to release from the body. And invite you to draw your thoughts and your focus of your mind back to the breath. Allow the breath to bring the ease into your body and your mind. Comfort in the body, ease in the mind. Notice what sensations you feel in your chest as you're resting on your props. Okay, let's take maybe 2 or 3 more breaths here. And we'll begin to transition. Now this time, as we come up, we're going to come to the other side of our body and do the same hip release pose, the supported leg pose. And then we're going to come into pigeon on the other side. So let's bring your hands down to the earth. Slowly make your way up. And then you might want to bend this back knee, draw it in so that you can kind of come together here and then shift your stack. So I'm going to come back to I'm going to bring the pillow here. My stack here, I'm going to come down onto this side so I can do the supported leg pose first. Lengthen my bottom leg, bring the top leg over, hug it in, and then bring my head down to the mat. With or without a support, whatever feels best. You could just rest on your hand too. And take a nice deep breath in through the nose and maybe a nice sighing, long exhale. Again, releasing tension from the day. One of the things I like about this pose is that I can kind of hug it in to my belly, and I'm calming my nervous system by adding just a little more pressure into the center of my solar plexus. Cueing my brain that it is time to rest and digest, or rest and restore, that I can let go of that sense of having to do and having to be. Actually, I get to be more and do less. To allow myself to be here with the breath. I guess you could say all that's required of me in this moment is that I breathe. The breath comes soft and easy. Almost allowing the breath to breathe me. Again, ideally 2 or 3 minutes in a pose like this. Noticing the breath, where it goes, and how it helps to soften the points of contact on the earth and other connective sensations that you have in your body. We pause. We breathe. We soften. And we notice our connections. All right, and I invite you now to take a couple more breaths and prepare yourself to begin to transition. We're going to come into that supported pigeon on this side now.
All right, so as you're ready, just bring your hands to the earth slowly. Take your time coming up. Easy shift. Again, releasing the breath. Sighs are always really nice to just calm the nervous system. Just let the breath come. Let the voice come, connecting with it. Another cue for the brain that it's time to rest and restore. All right, so I'm going to reposition my props. Bent leg on the mat, and I'm going to extend my other leg long here, but you get to decide what works for you on this side of your body, because remember, sometimes we're not even on both sides. One side may feel very different than the other. And I drape myself down onto my props. Nice deep breath in, feeling the breath expand across the back. And exhale and allow myself to deepen the connection onto my supports. And I'm noticing that as I lay here with the supports, I have actually more space in my belly to breathe. I'm supported in my upper body. My bent leg is supporting part of my rib cage and my hips. And so I have this space, sense of spaciousness in my lower belly. What are you noticing in your body right now? Breathe easy. Soften your shoulders. Soften. Breathe into opening the extended hip. Noticing where you have a sense of compression or resistance, and where the body feels soft and light. And perhaps allow your head to rest on the pillow of the breath. Okay, take maybe 2 more breaths here. And we're going to prepare to shift, and we're going to come into supported child's pose. So let's kind of draw our hands down to the earth where you can press on up. And we're going to center the stack of pillows and props. And we're going to fold forward. Come onto your knees. Bring your props perhaps in between your knees a little bit based on what you have today. Or bring it in front of you slightly so that you can fold over. And that's what you want to find here in supported child's pose is, again, the lengthening of the back. Feel the lower back extend. Feel the torso and chest just rest onto your props. The softening of your shoulders around. And the sense of support underneath your torso. And in this pose, you would probably want to spend some breaths here on one side and then turn your head and take the same amount of breaths on the other side. So I invite you to do that as you feel ready to do that. So maybe 5 breaths on one side and then 5 breaths on the other. Just so you can release the neck muscles with some equanimity. And again, you will probably notice that one side of your neck feels a little more free in this pose than the other. You can also position yourself to just extend, maybe rest on your chin and just extend the neck long, whatever feels good right now for you in this moment. And notice any shifts in sensations in your body, even emotions or mental awareness as you allow yourself to soften and to release. Anything that comes up for you, try to bring your awareness back to the breath and breathe through it, observing, sensing, and breathing through. And let's begin to prepare to shift. We're going to come on up to a seated pose now. So drawing your hands under, begin to rise. Come on up. Maybe roll your shoulders a little bit. Release here. And then come back into seated. And now I'm going to bring blocks. I don't think I said that. Apologize. You could do this with stacks of pillows here, but I'm going to show you a specific way to set up some blocks with a pillow to do a seated forward fold. So I'm going to take 2 blocks, stack them in a T formation, and then I'm going to take a pillow and place that on top, just for my length of my body. So you have to judge this for the length of your torso as well. And what we're going to do is a forward fold and rest our head on the stack. So I'm going to lengthen it a little bit longer, and then I'm going to forward fold here, grabbing my ankles, holding on, or resting, I should say. Really more of a rest than a grab, right? Because we're resting. And I'm going to fold forward, allowing my head, my neck to feel supported, and lengthening through my back. And I feel the opening and releasing of my lower back. And you can adjust this again wherever it feels best for you. Just allow again the breath to come. And notice where the breath goes in this shape in your body. Noticing the sensation of the legs extending on the earth, a rounding of your spine, and the resting of your head. Now I'm going to ease on up. And another thing you could do in this position is come to a wide angle and do a similar thing. Just bringing them forward here and rounding over to support your head so that you can open a little bit more in your inner thighs and groin muscles. Get a little bit more opening and extension in the back of the legs. This may not be as restful for you, but you may also enjoy it. Feeling sort of that energy shift of resting in the upper body and opening and releasing in the lower body. So you may decide you want to spend some time here, but I'm going to come on up and out of this because we're coming to the end of our half hour, and I want to show you one more supported pose to do as sort of a resting pose. So this is a supported bound angle, and you can use a lot of different props and supports for this. I'm just going to show you with what I have today how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to take a pillow or a bolster to put underneath my feet. I have my blocks here for my knees. I'm going to bring this pillow back under my back, and actually I'm going to use 2 for my upper back and my head.
And then I'm just going to ease on down, upper back and head on the pillows, blocks underneath my knees, soles of the feet together on the floor or maybe on another pillow, and release the hands to the side. The other thing you could do if you have more blankets is even bring blankets or low pillows underneath your arms and support your arms as well. Extremely restful and supportive here. It's like, feels like a little nest. So I invite you to spend as much time in your nest as you are able to, because you have earned it. You deserve to have this time to reset, rest, and restore in order to maintain your own well-being and wellness, and to show up as your best self for others in your life. So I invite you to stay, but I'm going to come on up and close our practice and remind you that we are free to be at peace with ourselves and with others. And in that, I will close practice with a namaste. And I will thank you for joining me as part of the Warriors at Ease Operation Remote Resilience channel. And I hope you enjoyed this class. I hope you feel rested and restored. This video will be available to the public on the Warriors at Ease YouTube channel shortly. Please consider visiting the link below and making a donation to help us keep these classes going. It's viewers like you that help teachers like me continue to be able to provide these services. So again, I'm Robin, signing off of Warriors at Ease Operation Remote Resilience in health, resilience, and connection. Namaste.